Welcome back to the Mad Spiderverse. I'm Mad Spidey, and thanks once again for tuning into my channel. I thought I'd do another one of my statue collection. As some of you may or may not know, obviously the Comic Book Community Awards are now in the nomination stage, so you could basically obviously nominate. I know, put it this way, I'm absolutely thrilled, absolutely honoured that I was nominated last year. Obviously, I had absolutely no chance of winning. This year, I will mention it occasionally when I do my statue things, but I'm not actually campaigning for it or anything like that. If anybody votes for me, it really does mean a lot. But at the end of the day, the Comic Book Community Awards is just a bit of fun. So, but I might just ramp up my my statues and statue videos just a little bit in the next couple of months. But yeah, but I thought I'd do another one today. Now, if you've never seen, like I say this every time, so you may or may not have ever seen one of these particular videos. Basically what I do is I have quite an extensive statue collection. They are all from a company called Bowen Designs, which was very prevalent in the mid to late 90s to early 2000s, way before your Sideshow and your Hot Toys and Iron Studios and the multitude of statue companies that are actually out now. They predominantly did Marvel statues. Early on, before they actually had the Marvel license, they did do a little bit of DC and some independent stuff. I know he did some Sin City and some, I think he might have even done a Death Dealer statue and a few other bits and pieces. But Marvel was their core product in that sort of time. Now, they did a range of mini busts, mini statues and full-size statues. I tried to become a completist, which was obviously very expensive, very hard, especially obviously being here in Australia. I started off collecting all three, but then I ended up just saying I don't really need the mini statues because they're exactly the same in most cases as they were as the full-size statues. So I pretty much stuck to the mini busts and the full-size statues. So the last video I did, I was going to sort of alternate between mini bust and full-size statue each video, but what I've been doing is I've been also doing shorts, showing off just obviously a quick format, the actual statue or the mini bust itself. But with that being said, some of them didn't necessarily, they was a bit too weighty for the actual, like my little rotating base thing that I have. But I've decided I'll just make it work one way or another. So I'm going to do another one of my full-size statues today. Excuse me. So the one that I'm going to be showing today is Jean Grey from the X-Men. So obviously not Phoenix, but Jean Grey herself, and that would be in the 90s X-Men costume. So, as I've said before, with the full-size statues, they will basically give you, on the side of the box, who it was sculpted by, physical size, things like that. And if there was any different editions, because sometimes they might have different costume editions and things like that, they'll quite often put them on the other side. With the mini busts, they will do the same thing. They'll put the sculpture, physical size, things like that, but on the other side they'll put a synopsis of the character, generally showing a picture of the first appearance book or something close to it, and then a more modern book from the time of release of the statue itself, with obviously a synopsis of the character. But on the full-size statues, they didn't actually do that. The other thing to note is generally they'll put the edition number just in a little sticker on the bottom of the box. Now, when I pulled this one out and I brought it upstairs, I'm like, there actually is no, because it's usually just above the Bowen Designs logo there. Now, there's not actually one on this box, which means one of two things. Either somehow the sticker's fallen off, which occasionally can happen, but I try to be as careful as I can and try to keep it as complete as I can. Or the better alternative is this might actually be an artist proof, which I know I do have a few within the collection. But once we open it up, we'll be able to tell by looking at the actual base. It'll tell you whether it's an artist proof or not and what the actual edition number is. So anyway, let's open her up and show you what it actually looks like. All right. So the other thing to note, if you do ever end up getting a Bowen Designs statue, is that they will generally either put the Bowen Designs logo or up on the actual top of the foam, so you know which way to actually open it up. Alright, so we'll unwrap the base first. Alright, so this one's a little extra special. So looking at the base itself, it tells me there was only 1,500 of these statues worldwide. Now this is an artist proof. So artist proofs are generally final product that are not counted in the run. So you'll have 1,500 of the statues themselves, and there's generally, I'd like to say 5 to 10, maybe 15 at the most, generally, artist proofs that they do. Which is basically almost like it's the finished product, but they send that to the actual statue company like Bowen Designs to make sure that it actually is, you know, everything looks fine, everything, you know, there was no, you know, paint bleeds or, you know, little chips or anything like that. It's obviously before they do the full run here. So this one is an artist proof, and this is actually initialed. And that's the extra special thing. It's actually initialed by Randy Bowen, the man himself. So if you have a look on there, so artist proof, and then actually initialed by Randy himself. So there's the actual base. And I'll pull out Jean herself. Now obviously, as you can sort of see, so the X-Men 90s costume. See, some of these ones, they sort of did like, as you can see, the little flick of hair there. Got to be very careful because they'll be very fragile and obviously very easy to snap off. So we will see if we can find where she actually sits in the base. Alright, so it actually goes into there somehow. Oh, I made a meal of this. I think it was actually supposed to go the other way. Hang on. Let me have a look at the box. So I have put it the right way. There we go. I was a little bit worried for a second then. But there is the statue in all its glory. So there we go. So there we go. So that will do for this particular video. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. You know, hit the like button. You know, leave a comment if you want to. But most of all, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm slowly trying to get to 500 subs. And yeah, just one here, one there, a sort of thing. It's just slowly creeping along, but yeah, if I get there, I get there. I don't. I'm just happy, just, you know, sharing my love of my collectibles and comics and stuff with my subscribers and anybody who wishes to, yeah, to watch. So, as I said, this will do for this particular video. From the lovely lady Jean and myself, Spidey out.